Lesson 9.6 Part B. Now if we look again at the denominator, we see that this middle one, well, hopefully it can be factored. So we realize the common denominator is going to be x plus 4, x minus 2. Alright, so we go through x minus 2, crosses out x minus 2. X plus 4 times 1, x plus 4. Everything here cancels. We're left with 2x plus 1. X plus 4 cancels. We're left with 2 times x minus 2. So we have x plus 4 equals 2x plus 1 plus 2x minus 4. Again, there's no squared terms, so we can go ahead and solve for x. So I want to combine like terms first. These two are like terms. I have 4x. These two are like terms. I have negative 3. I want to bring x to the right just because that means I'll have one less thing to worry about by having my x's positive. And I'm going to bring my 3 to the left. Whoops. And that'll give us 7. Divided by 3, x equals 7/3. Again, we check that to see if it works. And no matter what we plug in there, it will not cause the denominator to be 0. So this checks. Alright, now let's take a look at some inequalities. Now the common denominator here will be 9s. That crosses out with that and leaves it with a 3. 3 times 1 is 3. Everything crosses out here and you're left with 2. 3 cancels with the 9 to give it a 3. 3 times 2 is 6s. So we combine like terms. So 5 is less than 6s, divided by 5. So s equals, divided by 6, pardon me. S is equal to 5, 6. Now, unlike a equation, in inequality, we have to concern ourselves with critical points. One critical point is our solution, 5, 6. Another critical point is any value that would cause a denominator to be 0. In this case, if we had s equal to 0, 3 times 0 would be a 0, and you can't divide by a 0. So 0 is considered a critical point as well. And as with inequalities on a number line like this, we must check each zone to see what's going to work. Let's pick numbers we can use. So how about negative 1, 1. And in here, since we have 3s and 9s, let's use 1/3, because that will be nice to work with in that fraction. And we're going to check that by doing this. 1 over 3 times negative 1 plus 2 over 9 times negative 1 is less than 2/3. And we're going to see if we get a true statement. So we get 1 over negative 3 plus 2 over negative 9 less than 2/3. I'm not going to worry about getting a common denominator here because I know it's a negative minus a negative, so I know it's going to stay negative, which means this is going to be a true statement. It will be less than a positive 2/3. So this section works. Alright, we plug in 1/3. 1 over 3 times 1/3, this is multiplication now, plus 2 times 9, 2 divided by 9 times 1/3, less than 2/3. This is why we chose 1/3, because 3 times 1/3 is 1, so it's easy to calculate. 9 times 1/3 is 3. So 1 plus 2/3 is not going to be less than 2/3. This does not check. Plug in 1 and see what we get. And we're going to get 1 over 3, because 3 times 1 is 3. 2 over 9. Is that less than 2/3? Well, this looks like it might not be, but this one we might want to check and get a little more detail. I'm going to need a common denominator here, so I multiply top and bottom by 3, so I get 3 plus 2 is 5/9. Is that less than 2/3? And yes, it is. 2/3 is 0.67 approximately, and 5/9 is less than that. It's a little over 0.5. So this one checks. It's less than with a circle. So we're going to go this way and that way. Another inequality, same type of question. Now it's 5x. X's cancel. You're left with 5. Everything cancels. You're left with 3. 5 cancels. And you're left with 2x. 8 is greater than 2x. X. And we have 4 when I divide by 2. Critical point is 4. Other critical point is 0, because 0 times any of those would give us a denominator of 0. Check each zone. Plug in some easy ones. Plug in -1, 1, and 5. If we do so, we're going to get 1 over -1 plus 3 over -5. Is that greater than 2/5? These are both negatives, and you're going to add them, and you're going to get more negative. So this is not going to work. So this zone does not work. I'm going to 1. We get 1 over 1 plus 3 over 5 is greater than 2/5. Well, it's already 3/5, and you're going to add 1 to it, so it's 5/5. You'll get plenty more than 2/5, so this one works. Check the last one. We get 1 over 5 plus 3 over 25. 5 times 5 is greater than 2/5. Common denominator. Oops, sorry. Take top and bottom times 5. And you're going to get 8/25 is greater than 2/5. And that does not work. So again, we have circles. We're going to go in between instead. Alright, this ends lesson 9.6, part B.